Namaskar. People still ask me what the Gita says about overthinking, and guess what? It actually has something to say. But we have to understand what the Gita says about two things. It says about our mind and intellect. The third chapter of the Gita, verse 34 to 36 says, O son of Kunti, the mind is said to be restless by nature. To make it calm is the greatest yoga. He who restrains the mind and the intellect, he is successful in bringing himself to peace. So the first point that the Gita makes here is that the mind is restless by nature. And when we think too much about things, we are feeding this restlessness. We are overthinking. Overthinking feeds the mind, and then the mind becomes even more restless. Have you ever noticed that when you start thinking too much about something, you become more and more restless? You cannot sleep at night. All kinds of fears start creeping into your mind. Doubts start filling your mind. And ultimately, what happens is that you don't get a good night's sleep. Your day is ruined. You become irritable. You become angry. You become frustrated. And this whole thing starts affecting your relationships also. The first step towards eliminating overthinking is to make your mind calm. How to make the mind calm? That is the next point that the Gita makes. The Gita says, Chidam Brahm, Shachana Priyatattvam. Just as one cleanses the body by abstaining from food, so cleanse your mind by abstaining from thinking. In other words, when you want to make your mind calm, stop feeding it. Stop feeding your mind with all kinds of thoughts. This is the first step. Make your mind calm. When your mind is calm, you won't get caught up in all those swirling thoughts, analyzing every little detail, or worrying about what might happen next. When your mind is calm, you can take decisions very easily. You will find clarity of thought. You will find clarity of vision. So the second point that the Gita makes is, he who restrains the mind and the intellect, he is successful in bringing himself to peace. Restraining the mind and intellect is not an easy task. For that, we need constant practice. We need constant effort. We have to be very, very strong also. But once we learn how to restrain our mind and intellect, then we can bring ourselves to peace. Then we can eliminate overthinking. So friends, overthinking is a problem. Yes, it is a problem, but it can be solved, and the Gita gives us the solution. First point, make your mind calm. Second point, restrain your mind and intellect. And the third point, which is the most important point, is to have faith in the divine. Have faith in the higher reality. Believe that everything is going to be all right. Believe that the problems that you're facing today are only temporary. They're only for a short period. They're only for a short while. Have faith in the divine. Believe in a higher reality. Believe that you are not alone. There is a higher power which is taking care of you. You just surrender yourself to that higher power, and you will see that all your problems will be solved. Overthinking will come down. You will be happier. You will be peaceful. So try and apply these teachings of the Gita in your life, and transform your life from the state of sorrow to the state of bliss. Thank you.